Mr. Weaver here? I did not hear a response from him, so maybe he's attending. Okay, it's all yours, Ms. Nathan.
Thank you so much. Good evening. You can go over your names over there and
Good evening. My name is Judge Cynthia Rice. I've been your judge on the Court of Appeals for the past 12 years. During that time, I have authored over 1,000 opinions and decided over 3,000 appeals. I also have been assigned by the Ohio Supreme Court to sit on the Supreme Court, and I've been sent to the 2nd, the 7th, and the 9th District as a visiting judge. And by doing this, we've been able to reduce the Ohio Supreme Court's budget for visiting judges by over $200,000. We do that in addition to the work that we do on the 11th District Court of Appeals. I also sit on the Ohio Judicial Conference Executive Committee. I've done that for the past 4 years. The Judicial Conference Executive Committee is sort of the leadership of all the judges in the state of Ohio. I'm also the co-chair of the Criminal Law and Procedure Committee, and I sit on the Appellate Law and Procedure Committee and have been assigned by the Supreme Court to sit on the advisory panel for courthouse security. I've received the bar endorsements that have been made in this race. I've received the endorsement from the Portage County Bar Association as highly recommended. I've received a preferred rating with the Trumbull County Bar Association, and also a highly recommended rating from the Lake County Bar Association with a 96% approval rating. These are significant that the Portage County and Lake County attorneys have rated me highly recommended. And the reason why is because before taking the bench, I did not practice law in Portage County or in Lake County. The lawyers there had never socialized with me. They didn't know me personally. They had never seen me try a case. They weren't aware of my work ethic or my professionalism. So their rating of me, a 96% approval rating, is a reflection on my performance as your judge for the past 12 years. I've also received the newspaper endorsements in this race. The Cleveland Plain Dealer recommended me and felt that I deserved the position of the Court of Appeals, and they commented that they felt I was already a very good judge. I don't need to learn the job. The Youngstown Vindicator also indicated that I was clearly the choice in this race. Before taking the bench, I was the Assistant United States Attorney in Youngstown. I tried federal crimes in Cleveland, Akron, and Youngstown federal courts. And before that, I was the first assistant criminal prosecutor in Trumbull County, trying capital murder, rape, and major drug offenders, any major felony that took place in Trumbull County. I have my undergraduate degree in business from Purdue University, and I graduated from the University of Akron Law School, where I met my husband of 27 years. We have 3 adult children. Our son is an architect in Cleveland, and our 2 girls are still in college at Miami of Ohio. I take my work seriously, and I promise you that I will work hard to render fair and impartial decisions, and decisions that are based upon the law and only the law. Thank you very much.
What qualities should a judge possess?
I think the important thing, the number one thing is a judge needs to have good judicial temperament, because we see a lot of different people, different types of cases that come before us, and you need to be fair and impartial and keep an open mind and just be a kind, easygoing, reasonable person to keep an open mind and decide the case based upon what comes before you, not what your preconceived notions are or personal biases you may have. So I think that the temperament is one of the number one things, and a willingness to work hard.
What is your feeling on merit selection of judges?
I believe that it's important that we elect our judges, but I think that once a judge is elected, if they're performing, as Judge Cannon mentioned, the retention elections that some of the states have, for instance, they have it in Pennsylvania, a judge runs on their own record. So someone just doesn't file a petition and then not show up and not campaign and not really run an election, but I then, as a judge, have to run a full campaign. These campaigns cost a lot of money and they take a lot of time. And I think it's important for our judges to do the work that they've been elected to do instead of being distracted by having to spend their time campaigning. I do believe that there should be a way to remove bad judges, and that's what the retention does. If you have a bad judge, a judge who's not performing, a judge who's kind of gone off the rails and is a little wacky, they can be removed. So that's, the people still have a vote.
What collaboration efforts are made between the judges to make good decisions?
Every case we hear, Judge Cannon kind of laid out the procedure that we use. Before we take the bench, before we hear oral argument, we have already read the briefs of the parties and looked at the case law. And then we listen to what the attorneys say when they argue the case. We don't retry the case. We don't have witnesses or any of that in probably 99% of our cases. It's a review of what happened in the trial court. So we then discuss the case after we listen to the parties, after we listen to oral argument, and discuss the law and issues that we think need to be addressed when we write an opinion. So just working together is collaboration.
All right, thank you. Cynthia Westcott-Rice.
Thank you so much for your time.